And then we should all mute ourselves, right?
Yes, please. Okay, so we're recording. Hi, everyone. All right, so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to grow your following on different social media outlets. And specifically, I'll be giving you some awesome tips for how to build your following on Twitter, how to get more engagement on your Facebook like page. And if you don't already have one, I highly suggest that you do that. And I'll explain why later on in the call. How to get more engagement and grow your following on Instagram as well. So I understand that some of you may be more comfortable with one social media platform versus another. But in order to expand our network, it's important to, step outside of our comfort zones in more ways than one, and that also applies to the social media realm as well. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I suggest you get a pen and paper so that you can take some notes. I will be sharing the screen through different points during the call so that you can see what I'm looking at on my screen. I personally am a visual learner myself, and I just think it's going to be so much easier for you guys to really understand what it is you should be doing with some of these strategies I'm going to be sharing to actually see it. And if you guys have any questions, just, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'll check them periodically as I go along. I said this before, but I have to put out this little disclaimer. I'm not an expert in social media by any means. I'm still learning, but I've recently had some luck with a few specific social media strategies and tools, and I just feel like I'd be doing you a total disservice if I didn't share them with you. So I'll try my best to answer any questions that you guys might have, but if I don't have the answers, I can try and find them later on, and I'll get back to you. And so while I'm covering the basics of 3 specific social media platforms, I just wanted to emphasize that it's really important to pick 1 or 2 that you want to focus on and become an expert with. Because if you put, all your social media marbles, so to say, in too many different baskets, your content is not going to be as rich. And if you're anything like me, you're going to feel crazy overwhelmed by the thought of trying to keep up with each platform and keeping up with each of them effectively at that. So if you have a certain social media platform that you like using right now already, that's great. You're going to want to just, work on becoming stronger and using that social media platform. And I say it's nice to use 2 just for variety, because like Twitter is very different from Facebook, is very different from Instagram. So it's nice to, build your network on these different platforms. So I wanted to start with Twitter. And I've been on Twitter for quite a while now. I've built a pretty solid following. I had a personal Twitter that, I just used in college for myself. And then a while back, I started a Twitter account and built a following of over, like 1,000 people because of a previous Facebook like page and blog that I was promoting that I made called The Sensitive Life. And this Twitter account was dedicated solely to informing my followers about living with food and food chemical sensitivities and my life and my health journey living with many of them. And so as such, I had a pretty cool following. Like I had some big name companies like Applegate and Annie's Homegrown and Bob's Red Mill following me. And I love Bob's Red Mill because they have the best gluten-free foods ever. And I was engaging with these accounts. Like they'd tweet at me, I'd tweet at them, and it was how I built my following. And people followed me for the information that I put out there. So it was because of, the tweets that I put out there in the Twitterverse about eating gluten-free and non-GMO and sugar-free foods that these people and everyday people, not necessarily just big corporate companies, decided to follow me. So when I started my journey with Beachbody, I thought about making another Twitter account dedicated to my business as a coach And then slowly came around to the idea that I could use the following I already had, since my audience, followed me for insight on nutrition-related topics. And I changed my Twitter name, which was hard for me to do, to Meg How Fitness. And I linked my health and fitness coach Facebook like page to my Twitter account and started easing into my Beachbody related tweets. And when I say I linked my Facebook like page to my Twitter account, this just means that like anything I post on my Facebook like page automatically gets sent to my Twitter account as a tweet. And one thing I've been super cognizant about lately is not relying solely on using my Facebook like page to keep up with my tweets. I make sure to tweet in real time now every day too, which is boosting my following. And I'm getting more engagement and I'm getting more favorites and retweets. And if you think about it, people who are on Twitter are really using it for a specific reason, as I said before. They may not be avid Facebook users. So all of your tweets, to have all of your tweets coming from a different social media source isn't the smartest choice, to be perfectly honest. They're looking for something specific on Twitter. And again, they might not even be on Facebook. So if I have a tweet that has, the first 160 characters of my Facebook post with a link to Facebook to view the rest of the post, that's a downer for people who aren't on Facebook, and they're like, ugh. And this person, they're probably thinking like, oh, this person isn't like, a real Twitter user. They're just like, they're artificially trying to get me to engage with them. So you want to make sure that you're genuinely engaging with people, no matter which social media platform you're using. So I wanted to talk to you about a specific website that I've been using to boost my following and to target the right audience on Twitter, and it's called Tweepy. And before you begin using Tweepy, it's super important to make sure you're following major Beachbody figures, specifically celebrity fitness trainers, Shakeology, Team Beachbody, Carl Deichler. I think there's a Twitter account called like TBB Success. And you could follow top coaches just for like your own personal benefit, but you wouldn't use their accounts for this purpose, I would say. So what I'm going to do, because this is the time when I get to share my screen with everyone. Let's see. Okay. So here we go. Okay, can you just show me a thumbs up if you see my Tweepy? Okay, perfect. So it's TWEEPI.com, and it's free. You go there, you make an account, and then on your Tweepy dashboard, you go to my dashboard or dashboard. It tells you the number of users that you are following who are not following you back. And then the users you are not following back who are following you. It just gives you some insight. Now, what I do, or I've been trying to be better about doing it, I honestly started doing this Easter Day because this was when my sister's boyfriend showed me this website. He has his own company that he and his little brother have started, and in a very short amount of time he has built his Twitter following to 18,000 people. And I haven't even been super consistent with doing this, but I will tell you that every time I do this little process that I'm about to show you, I gain about 200 followers. So like I said, I first started doing this on Easter, and I had like 1,300 followers. And right now, I can tell you exactly how many followers I have now on my Twitter account. I have 2,291 followers. So I've almost increased my following by like 1,000 people just in, let's say, a month or so. Okay, so what I do is I click on users who do not follow you back. This is, and I'm not gonna like go through a whole series of like unfollowing, but I will just show you. I just click. I unfollow all these people who decided not to follow me back. After like 24, 48 hours. I prefer to give people 48 hours just because, you know, maybe people aren't checking their their Twitter, you know, once a day. Maybe they're checking it once every other day, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I just literally go through each page and click unfollow. One thing you should know about Twitter is that until you have 2,000 followers, you max out on the number of people that you are allowed to follow. So, for example, on eStar, when I was going through following people, I would get a notification that said, like, following cannot be processed. You've hit the limit for number of people that you can follow. So until you hit 2,000 followers, you get cut off by the number of people that you're allowed to follow yourself. So that's what I do. I go through and I unfollow all the people who are not following me back. Now, to gain more followers, I go to follow tools. That's this part right up here, this little tab. And then I click on by users, followers. And then I type in somebody's Twitter account name. So for example, Chalene Johnson. And I hit search. And this is loading all of Chalene Johnson's Twitter followers. Okay. Now, sure, some of these people are going to be, can you guys hear that lawnmower? Is that distracting? No? Okay, just checking. Some of these people are going to be Beachbody coaches, but a huge majority of them are not going to be. So these are people who are following her maybe for her fitness advice, maybe because they're doing PiYo. And if they're doing PiYo, maybe they don't have a coach. So what I do is you have these different options up here. You have when these people last tweeted, the number of followers that they have, and their follow ratio. And that means like, sorry, I'm just trying to move you guys around. That means like how often they follow back the people who follow them. The way I gauge this, I make sure that I take a look at when these people last tweeted, because I want to follow people who, you know, are tweeting regularly, not people who tweeted a year ago or 2 years ago, because A, they're not going to follow me back if they haven't tweeted in several months. And B, even if they tweeted a month ago or 3 weeks ago, they're not going to be avid Twitter users. They're not people that I really care to have in my following. So I just put my cursor over follow. And what's cool about Tweepy is that you don't have to move your cursor down. It just moves the people up. So you just click away until you want to stop following people on that page. So I used to do it in such a way that like I wouldn't follow anybody who tweeted more than 3 days ago. Now I say, you know what, if they tweeted a week ago, I'll follow them. Still worth it. Like maybe they're on Twitter just to like absorb information more than they are to put information out there. But again, you want to make sure that you're following people who are, relatively active on Twitter. So then I go to the next page and I do the same thing. Follow. I'm looking in this column right here as I'm clicking down, and I'm going to stop at 1 week ago because I don't want to follow this person who tweeted 2 months ago. And so as you can see down here, where I'm putting my cursor right here, I'm only on page 2 of 250. And this usually takes, when I was doing it like before I hit my max out, meaning like now I have over 2,000 followers. So I could really just go to town for hours following people if I really wanted to. I would probably spend about 15 minutes going through following people. So that's Tweepy, and that's one way to build your following. Let's see. I'm going to go to my notifications and see. So like 28 minutes ago, 72 people followed me, just to give you an idea. It's a really useful tool, I believe. I've built my following by over 1,000 people in like a month. And I have a customer that approached me off of Twitter. I now have a customer. I have another person off of Twitter in one of my informational free challenge groups right now. And it's because, and I'll show you my Twitter account. It's because, I'm tweeting with hashtags like 21 Day Fix and Autumn Calabrese, and like I have hashtags like nutritious or foodie or yoga or whatever. And people reach out to me and they'll be like, oh, like I'm doing the 21 Day Fix. I'm on week 1. And then I know to go and tweet at them and be like, oh, that's awesome. Congratulations on making this commitment to yourself. Do you have a coach? And like, that's how you open up conversations with people. Now, when you decide that you're going to, like say tomorrow, I'm going to do this again. I don't want to do Chalene Johnson again. Maybe I'll choose Autumn Calabrese, or maybe I'll choose Shanti. You want to get you want a following from all these different people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just stick to Chalene Johnson's followers. You might want to, branch out. Or like if you are like an avid 21 Day Fixer, you might want to do like Autumn Calabrese and Shakeology every other day. But this is how you're really going to build the right following. People who are following people that you are marketing. You're marketing their programs. These people are following them for a reason, and you want them following you too. So that's Tweepy. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Are we back? Do you see my face now? Okay, fabulous. So that's Tweepy. Do we have any questions so far? No? Yes?
Yes, Meg, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
I looked at your face. I was like, she has something that she
I do. I was going to type it, but I'm like, hey, I'll just write it.
Yeah.
I'll just talk it. All right. So 2 questions for you. So I'm kind of a little still new at Twitter, but I've been trying it out. And I've been getting some follows, but I'm not sure if they're really like quality followers. Are you finding that like the majority of the people that are following you back are like actual people as opposed to like, I don't know, I feel like I get like spammy type follows sometimes and like creepy weird stuff following me back. Does what's your take on that?
Sometimes that happens. But again, with the Tweepy, what's great about that is you're making a point to follow specific people. And then those specific people are or are not following you back. And they're people who are following people that we're marketing for.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this might possibly eliminate that problem for you a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I had one other quick question. Do you message people as soon as they follow you back? Do you shoot them out a quick message, direct message at all?
No, I couldn't. Only because at this point,
it's so many.
There are so many. I was going to say, like, I probably have some on my phone right now, but I don't. When I go through and I'm following people rapid fire, I might follow like 400 or 500 people. If 300 people follow me back, that's a lot of messages to send out. I mean, I personally just don't have the time to do that right now at this point, but there are so many people who message me. Like, I followed some girl, she followed me back. She tweeted at me saying, "Oh, thanks for following me. Like, I just started a 21-day fix. I'm feeling great about it." And I inboxed her and we chatted a little bit, like literally maybe 2-3 sentences worth of messaging, because I asked her if she had a coach. And she was also interested in trying Shakeology. And the following day, she tweeted at me the next morning and she said, "I got up and I did my workout, and it's all thanks to Meg Howe Fitness for motivating me." And I was like, what? Like, I mean, because it was just such a brief conversation, but it was cool because not only did I feel like, oh, like that's a put up, like, yay, I did something right with my day yesterday. But anybody who's following her is going to see that too. And all of her followers might be like, "Oh, who's this Meg Howe Fitness lady?" and follow me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I get a lot of messages and tweets from people thanking me for following them. And so if people do that, I tweet back at them. I'm like, "Yeah, you too." But I'm not like taking the time. That would just be like, I feel like it would be a waste of time.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody. All right, sweet.
So
thanks, Meg.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
So I just jumped on to, sorry, I sound like a frog. I just jumped on to Tweepy and it's like, I was like, oh, like sign up or whatever, so you obviously pay for this. Which one do you?
No, I don't pay for it. It's free.
Oh, it's saying like, I don't know. I went to go like sign up and it said, took me right to like.
There's a free version.
Oh.
I can look at it with you later if you want.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
I didn't know if you like chose one over the other or whatever, so that's why I asked.
No, I just used the free one.
Oh.
I like free stuff.
Well, I do too, and that's why I was like, okay.
Yeah. I'll look at it with you in a little bit. Sound
okay,
good?
cool.
Okay. All right. So moving on to talking about Instagram. We had a person, Erica, in the Choose to Shine page who asked about whether or not it was a good idea to have an Instagram account for your business. And the way I responded was basically that, yes, I agree that it's important for you to have an Instagram account for your business. For me personally, I ended up just cleaning out a lot of posts from my personal Instagram because I realized that I should have had one for my business a little too late in the game. And I already had so many fitness and Beachbody related posts on my Instagram account that I just did not want to start fresh with a new one at all. Oh my goodness, our meeting is ending in 10 minutes. Okay. So that's just my personal opinion, but yes, you want an account that targets a specific audience. Your followers will follow you to see fitness and nutrition related posts or posts related to your personal brand that you're creating for yourself. And if they see posts that might otherwise be unrelated to the reason that they followed you, like, you know, just, oh, picture of the kids at the park, they might unfollow you and be like, nah, this person is not like, you know, what I thought they were all about. Like, not that that's a bad thing to be family oriented, but like they want to follow you for your fitness and foodie related posts. Okay. So hashtags, using hashtags to target your desired audiences. You want to use unique hashtags. There are popular hashtags out there like hashtag love and hashtag selfie and hashtag TBT and hashtag Instagood that about 300,000 other people are using in the exact same moment that you are. So within 30 seconds of posting that hashtag, anyone looking at photos with that hashtag will no longer be able to see yours. In other words, these hashtags expire pretty quickly. And one thing I didn't mention before the hashtag part of this even becomes relevant, you need to make sure that your profile is public. I struggle with this for so long because I'm a teacher, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want parents to find me on Instagram. So what I did, I cleaned up my language, I cleaned up my posts, and I did some spring cleaning on Instagram, and I made it, pretty much solely tailored to what I'm doing as a coach. And I mean, I really don't care now if anybody finds me, which is why it's public. So where was I going with that? Yes. So post your original comment or your caption, so to speak, your description with no or very few hashtags is what the general consensus is. And then for me personally, I do tend to post a lot of hashtags in my original description of my photo. But then one thing that they want you to do, or one thing you should do to boost engagement, is below your original comment, so a secondary comment, post a group of 20 popular yet targeted hashtags, which you can create and store in a note on your phone. By storing them in a note, you can save time by doing a quick copy and paste each time you post. And after 1 to 2 minutes, this is sort of excessive, but it is what it is. After 1 to 2 minutes, you delete that comment with all the hashtags and post a new list of 20 to 30 hashtags from your list stored in your notes. And you can repeat this process indefinitely. The more popular the hashtag, though, the shorter its lifespan. So the last group of hashtags that you leave up permanently should be very specific and less popular. For instance, the hashtag beach or the hashtag sunset would probably only be seen for a few seconds. And a hashtag stay at home dad, or I don't know, something just less popular, will be seen for days or longer. And the whole point of using Instagram is to attract new customers, to attract new followers, and eventually new business. So once someone has decided they like you, they'll want to know more about you to see if they trust you. Like I was saying, they don't necessarily want to see pictures of all the daily happenings that are going on throughout your day. They want to see if they want to do business with you. So make it easy for people to find out more about you. And if you have a website, you're going to send people to your website, not via another social media platform. When people click on your bio in your Instagram profile, it's because they're interested in knowing more about you, and they like what they see, and perhaps they're interested in having a little conversation. So if you don't have a website, you might list your email address or suggest that people send you a direct message on Instagram. But that's something that you definitely want to do. You want to make your bio customized to, I'm here, I'm open for business, you can find me here, kind of a thing. And I realize now that sadly we only have 4 minutes left on our thingy. I do have a video that I can send you guys to talk about, it's what I use to learn about how to boost my posts without clicking on that silly little boost post button on Facebook. So I'll just share that in the Choose to Shine group. I know I sent that to you at one point, Jenny. But the long and short of it is rather than using the boost post button, you want to use something called the Power Editor to boost your posts on Facebook, because when you use the boost post button, you're going to spend far more money per click, per comment, and per like using this method. And I first heard about the Power Editor through Chalene Johnson, of course. And then somebody who is on another team, who is, you know, one of my success partners, she sent this video to me. What is her name? Kimra Luna. Kimra Luna is somebody that you want to follow on Facebook. Kimra Luna, Luna. She's like an internet genius. And she has these series of videos called Talk Nerdy to Me. So you know it's good. She has all kinds of like internet, social media hacks that she shares. And one of her videos is what I use to learn about how to use the Power Editor. So I'll share that with you guys. It's like 9 or 10 minutes long, but it's totally worth watching. And it's something you're going to want to watch a few times and take notes on. And it's really good stuff. So let's see if there is anything else. We've got 2-3-ish minutes left. One thing about Facebook, I have personally noticed, and maybe some of you have noticed this too, you want to use videos for massive engagement. Like, and I think I mentioned this in our last Zoom chat where Jenny and I led the call. People enjoy seeing other people bounce around, like balance on their heads, whatever. That's what I'm into lately. Shout out to my girl Lindsay, who taught me how to do that. People love seeing people move more than they like seeing just a static image. So if you're looking to get more engagement on Facebook, the number one way to do that, I believe, is through videos. And if you don't already have a Facebook like page, you need one, because I said so. And also because it's one thing to use your regular Facebook profile to post about Beachbody, but ultimately that can become overwhelming, especially for people who you're friends with. I feel like we're going to run out of time. I feel like I need to stop because we have less than a minute. And this is what I do. Jenny says you can also check out the book Jab, 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 Right Hook. And I know that I haven't read it, but I'm totally going to. It gives you a lot of insight about social media. So that's on my to-do list. Does anybody have any questions before I get 100% cut off? I feel so bad. Anybody? No? We're good? Okay. I will post.
Good job.
Oh, thanks, lady. I will post that video in the team page so that you have it, and anything else that I did not get to, I will, let you guys know if there's anything else that you need to know. But thank you so much for calling in today. I really appreciate it. And thank you. I'm so glad you're able to make it in.
You're awesome. Love you.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Love you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful spring day. It's beautiful outside. Go get some sunshine.
Convert that to YouTube, girl.
Oh, yes. I think.
Oh, yes. I got you.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.